to the topic. Because since you are listening diligently, and there are so many people passing, what do you think is wrong with that woman's attire? That one right there on the eye. Yeah. What do you think is wrong? Nah, maybe she's cool. Because I have maybe feeling a bit cold myself. But what do you think is wrong? Because if you wear a skirt, what people will think of you? You think you're homosexual, right? Do you think you're gay, right? Do you think you're a woman, you're trans or something, right? Alright. But do you think she's allowed to wear what we are wearing? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, why you say yeah? No, give your honest opinion. You said yeah, but why do you think yeah? Alright, we'll read it for you. We'll read it. Yeah. Make sure you go home and read this one carefully. Go up from, start from verse 1 and go down to 5.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 22 and verse 1. Thou shalt not see thy brother's ox or his sheep go astray, and hid thyself from them. Thou shalt in any case bring them again unto thy brother.
So these are all going into the things that you can't and cannot do. Continue.
And if thy brother be not nigh unto thee, or if thou know him not, then thou shalt bring it unto thine own house.
Yeah.
And it shall be with thee until thy brother seek after it, and thou shalt restore it to him again. In like manner shalt thou do this with his ass, and so shalt thou do with his raiment, and with all lost things of thy brothers.
So now we're going to read something for you. Verse 5. He's going to have a long list of things that you can and can't do. But this is one of the things you definitely can do.
Verse 5. The woman.
So not the man. The what?
The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man.
What did he just say? Okay, and what does that translate to you? Okay, you're very hard. So, what is associated to a man that a woman cannot wear? Because we don't wear bras. You wear bra? I don't think none of us here wear bras. We don't wear skirts. We don't wear dresses. We don't wear, what else? We don't wear the thing that they put on the back, the corset. We don't wear none of those stuff. So, in your logical sense of mind, what does a woman wear that pertaining to a man? You said it correct, a pants. But we don't.
Neither shall a man put on a woman's garment.
Stop. So that's why I said, if you saw us today in a dress, would you have taken us seriously? You would have laughed at us. Like, what are these guys doing, right?
For all that do so are an abomination unto the Lord thy God.
You know what the word abomination means? Give me an example. Alright, you couldn't say better than that. It's something so bad you can't even stomach it. So you're seeing everybody, all these women over here walking in a pants. That's something even so basic, even they could do, but they refuse to do it. So what the officer before me read to you and what he was trying to tell you is a light thing to keep commandments, but it's very hard to apply for some people. But some people will say, I like to look good, I like my butt to show. Why do you think we're not, a woman not supposed to wear a man's garment? Why do you think women can't wear a man's garment? Why do you think that? Yeah? Okay, I'll give you a context. If a woman has on a pants, what's the first thing that you look at? She's walking by you, and give me an example. She's walking by you right now, and she has on her pants. And I'm not talking about any kind of woman. I'm talking about those big boned women. You see a big boned woman walking past you, and she has on her pants. What's the first thing you will look at? Okay. But what would a common man look at? Okay, alright, you see? Back in the row. Yeah, stop. The first thing the man will look at is, boy, she got a big behind. And what would that tell the man? That would make the man start to lust. And that's one of the things that we need to stop in our communities, because in our communities, most men go after women because they lust after them. Not because they love them, but because they lust them. You so accurate, but now going back now, that's the reason why a lot of broken homes are the way it is. Because the man don't want to stay with the woman, he wanted fun with the woman, but she got pregnant. So when a woman has on a skirt, she's modest. You're not lusting with your eyes. You're not wondering, boy, how big her behind is, you know, or how big her front is. You're not thinking about all of that because you cannot see it. So simple things, this is a simple thing that the Most High gave us that we don't do. Hey bro, you have a question? You have a question? What's the question? You have a question?
No, really, I'm just listening.
Where you from?
Suriname.
So you're still a man then? Yeah. Okay. And in Surinamese culture, what do you know? If I may answer this question, in Surinamese culture, what color of Christ do they promote? What color of Christ do they promote in Surinamese culture?
What color of Christ?
Yeah.
White.
White.
Yeah.
Do you? Well, okay. So now can I answer this serious question? Do you think color matters?
Not really, but in this case, maybe yes, because people teach that Jesus is white, but he wasn't white.
Okay. Why do you think that they push that? Just okay, if you were Chinese for 10 years and then Indian for 10 years, maybe he shared different, shades throughout the world, but you were just one color for a long time. Why do you think that was done like that? Sorry? No, let me answer. Why do you think it was just one specific color?
Just one specific color?
Why do you think that he was just so here? Why do you think he just looked like this for centuries?
I don't think you look like a white man.
It's not what you don't think, but why was this promoted?
Racism.
Okay. What do you think? Okay. Both of them are the right way, but there is actually a description of Christ in the Bible. Do you know that?
I've heard about that.
Okay. The book of Revelation, chapter 1 and 14. And it's also one in Daniel.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 1 and verse 1. The revelation of Jesus Christ.
Stop. What's the name? Kishan. So, Kishan, if I tell you, Kishan, we're going on the road now, and revealed, maybe I'm blind, maybe you're holding my hand. I say, Kishan, we're going on the road now, we're going to buy something, or we're going to go somewhere. Reveal to me what you're seeing. Meaning, what does that mean if you have to reveal to me what you're seeing?
Tell me what you see. Tell me everything around.
Alright, let's go.
The revelation of Jesus Christ.
Stop. So now, Revelation 1 verse 1. The first verse tells you the revelation of Jesus Christ. So, do you know who wrote the book of Revelation?
I don't know the details.
The Apostle John wrote the book of Revelation. So now he's revealing, just what he said, what he saw. Right?
Which God gave unto him to show unto his servant things which must shortly come to pass. Verse 14. His head and his hair were white like wool.
So John the Revelator is saying Christ's hair on his head was white like wool. Who has woolly hair on the earth? What is woolly hair? Let me ask you that question. Okay. What is woolly hair, Nathaniel?
Woolly hair?
Yeah.
Curly.
When you have it right on your head, that's the thing with us. We don't know how to supersize our own texture of hair. So we don't have nappy hair, that don't exist. We don't have coarse hair, that don't exist. We have woolly hair. All of us here have woolly hair. In different textures, yes. His texture is different to his texture. But it's all wool because all of our hair here stands up. If you take off your locks, it will stand up to right. Okay, so before you get that, continue.
His head and his hair were white like wool,
Continue.
as white as snow.
White as snow. See, he coming in white like snow. Let's go, come on.
And his eyes were as a flame of fire.
We're not going to go into the eyes, but his eyes, because there was red like wine that you find in Genesis 1:9-12, but we'll go to the next time. Continue.
And his feet like unto fine brass.
So now, this is where a lot of Christians, even though they read the Bible every week, they get dumbfounded. Because if I ask you a simple, mind-boggling, simple question, is the color of your face the same color as your feet? Is the color of your face the same color as your feet?
Yeah.
Maybe our face is a little darker because our feet get less sunshine, but it's natural to know that the color of your feet is the same color as your feet. Alright? Come on.
And his eyes were as a flame of fire.
Yeah.
And his feet like unto fine brass.
So, what color is brass? Because I can see right now you have that lock right there in the front. On the bottom has a piece of brass on it. Okay, good. So that color is brown. Alright, let's go. Come on.
As if they burned in a furnace.
So now he's saying Christ's feet was the color of bronze, but his feet were so dark as if it looked like his feet burned in a furnace. So that means to say Christ was so dark, it looked like he was midnight black. You ever heard of that term? Midnight black? Alright, Song of Solomon. Because throughout this book, the reference of black beauty is written all over. So now let's hear from, we have read from Christ, so we're going to read from Solomon, one of the greatest people on this earth. Come on, let's go.
This is the book of Song of Solomon, chapter 1 and verse 1. The Song of Songs, which is Solomon.
Let's go.
Verse 5. I am black.
What did he just say?
I am black.
He's what?
I am black.
He's what?
I am black. But comely.
Where do you think our forefathers, when they sing the blues, I am black and beautiful, where do you think they got that from?
So what we take Jacob?
Solomon is saying, I am black but beautiful. So,
Yeah, you take over the land.
another thing.
Yeah?
We read about color.
Okay?
But do you think your locks is referenced in the Bible? No? Maybe. Maybe, okay.
This is the book of Song of Solomon, chapter 5 and verse 11.
Read.
His head is as the most fine gold.
Yeah.
His locks are his locks.
Is what?
His locks are bushy and black as a raven.
That's right.
So, just like how you have what you are doing right now with your locks, it is the same thing your ancestors did with their locks. It is the same thing Solomon did. We used to put diamonds and gold in our hair. That's what we done from years. But because of this, not knowing who we are today is the reason why we're destroyed. So I can read for you all day, anything black, anything beautiful, lost your representation. But for you to know exactly what happened, you need to go to the source, Deuteronomy 28. Because we all identify here, all of us here identify that we went through slavery. Half to our forefathers, all went through that. But what if I tell you that was actually biblical and it was supposed to happen? Would you believe me? That's from 28 and verse 1.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 1.
So when you go home, it's on a paper as well. When you go home, do not forget this book. It's called Deuteronomy. When you find that one, chapter 28, even you have to Google it, ChatGPT, whatever. 28 and verse 1. Let's go, come on.
And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I commanded thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
So now, Moses is telling the children of Israel when they came out of Egypt, if you do what the commandments say you have to do, the Most High will set you, He will bless you and set you high above all people on this earth.
The samba.
Verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
So now he's saying, it shall also come to pass, if you don't listen to God, that all these what?
To observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So the reason why I went to this book is because when we read some of these curses, it is only applicable to a certain group of people. Because the history book, although they are taught as ever, the history book accurately depicts what happened to a certain group of people, which chronologically makes sense with what we are about to read. So that is the reason why I'm saying what I'm saying. These curses, when you read it in your own time, you will say, well, this only happened to my people. Let's get a verse. Get verse.
Verse 32.
Yes, sir.
Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
Whose people on this earth, which nation on this earth, were sons and their daughters given to by force? It wasn't by free will, it was by force. It happened to, look, it also happened to some other races too. But as we go down deeper, those other races become less. It's after them five to just one. Continue.
And thine eyes.
I don't believe in God. I don't believe in God.
Okay.
What God would allow all of this to happen for people to love?
That's a very good question. Go back to 28 and verse 1.
This.
I'm not going to jump out of context.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments.
God, let me give you a simple context. Do you have children? When you see a man in our culture, when a father is stern with his children, he says, do not do something once, do not do something twice. And if he does the third time, what does the father do? Or the mother? That's in every black culture. You all know that. So the Most High tells us many times to Moses, to various other prophets, do these things and you will be blessed. But when you read this book, the children of Israel are always happy. We always do what we want to do and we don't listen. And every time we don't listen, God does what with us. He puts us through.
If you claim to give them free will and they use the free will, you can't punish them for free will.
But which parent will allow the child to do whatever they want without condition?
If the small hit is not comparable to slavery.
But we're going to that. I like how you say, but we're going to that, yeah.
This is the book of Amos, chapter 3 and verse 1.
Yes, sir.
Hear this word that the Lord hath spoken against you O children of Israel, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth.
That's it. He's saying you only, so only you, meaning the nation, have I known of all the families of the earth. Continue.
Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities.
So now, I'll give you a simple, basic concept. He is saying, I only gave this to one group of people to listen to obey, to do, to act. And when you don't do it, you get punished. It is.
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is you. It's nation time.
And finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord, His word,